Hey everybody, it's Bust with Expedition Trial number 466. Getting pretty close to 500. Things just like a month away. But let's jump in, see what shows up. So, okay, I mean, lots of good choices here. Ashe, still strong. She, recently upgraded to flip off of just 4 frostbites instead of 5. That's a constructed level update, right? She was already extremely powerful at Expedition, and so she's just been stronger and stronger ever since that happened. So, very strong option here. The Time Lord's Echo, we just drafted this as the Kyrie and Sumpworker deck. I'm not that interested in taking this. We've drafted the Kyrie and Sumpworkers within the past week or two, and so you can just scroll back through the channel a little bit if you want to see the old Echo build around. And then the Shen, I'm just not a huge fan of drafting Shen. Every time we try to draft Shen, it just devolves into not being a Shen deck. He is just not enough support for this barrier theme. And so I don't really want to chase this down. So that's going to swing us back to taking this Ashe. More than happy to do so. And so let's take a moment and get her pulled up on the site. And so if you're not familiar, we're just over here at ftpbus.com. I keep all my expedition-related content here. We're just going to be on the front page or the main page, whatever. Click on this little drop-down box. Scroll down to Ashe and Frozen Solid and take a peek at what lives here. And so, yeah, this is just the Ashe build around, right? She's the only champion in this archetype, and it's meant to take advantage of frostbites, and so that's what you're gonna find quite a bit of. I don't like to go super overboard on them. Like I don't want to be adding Shatter and Succumb to the Cold to our deck just because they say Flash Freeze on them or Frostbite on them. The big ones that we're looking for are Iceveil Archer. This is on a unit so that we can still interact on the board without having to spend a whole card. Brittle Steel is the premier cheap one. Flash Freeze, where you at? Or not Flash Freeze. Harsh Winds is the premier expensive one. And then we always like having one copy of Rhymetusk Shaman in these decks, and that's just kind of like the core of the Frostbite package. We'll look for 2 or 3 brittle steels, 2 or 3 harsh winds, 2 to 4 Iceveil archers. We'll take more of these if we can find them, and then we'll kind of like incidentally come across like 1 or 2 other frostbites. But we don't want this to come to the cold. Don't want the shatter. Then the ultimate problem with all these flash freezes and frostbites, though, is they don't actually kill anything, right? They help you not lose combats, but you can't cast a flash freeze on a unit and kill it, and then they don't help you win combats either. And so if if you use something like Riposte, you can attack up, so your 3 attack unit can now kill a 6 health unit, but these don't help us actually win combats, and so we have to kind of be careful in those terms. But otherwise, this deck has everything that you could be looking for. Has pretty reasonable early game, has some high-powered stuff like Starlit Seer, has really powerful epics for the late game, and Feel the Rush, She Who Wanders, and the Howling Abyss. And then it's just, again, the only like real weakness is the interactivity. While there's a ton of it, it isn't that good, right? If your opponent plays like a Lux, right? You can't really interact with that Lux. You can cast Frostbites on them, but they don't actually do anything. And so that's the big thing for us to do, is to find something to interact with, whether or not it's some challengers or something out of a different faction. Okay, so interesting set here. Again, this is like we don't have to build around Ashe, but we're probably going to, given the options of the champions here. I'm not a huge fan of building around either Victor or Lulu. LeBlanc is fine, and we could end up drafting around LeBlanc at the end of the day. Uh, but that would be our only like pivot option here, right? I still think Ashe is the strongest out of the 4 of these, and likely the one that we'll build around. And so the things that would be the most useful to Ashe here is what I think is probably just the LeBlanc. Like the thing that I would like to be able to pull off is having the Blood on the Ice archetype show up. That's the other Ashe archetype, pairs off with Darius, has all of the Yetis in it, and then it's looking to kind of maximize the 5 attack matters theme. And so, as we see something down here like Sigil of Malice that has Reputation, you can hit Reputation with the Yetis out of Freylord. And so we should have some like pretty decent combos here, right? Trifarian Glory Seeker loves brittle steels. She loves to have a lot of frostbites around. And so we should be able to hopefully pick up some of these. And then being in Noxus, I'm hoping that Blood on the Ice archetype picks itself up. So should be a nice little combo. So we can pull up the reputation LeBlanc. There should be like a few things that are pretty useful in here. The big thing that I usually talk about in these is the Trifarian Assessor. I don't usually like playing Trifarian Assessors in our base Noxus decks. It's just too tough to get like more than one card draw off of her, and she's a little small in the stats to make up for that card draw. But if your deck is full of Yetis, then this can be pretty powerful. So if we are able to get Blood on the Ice going, we're able to find some Yetis, then the Assessor could be quite good. Otherwise, this archetype does have some real high-powered stuff in it, like Strength in Numbers, and then it also has that 5 attack matters theme, and so Bloody Business gives us a way to interact with our opponents, and then things like Trifari and Glory Seeker are good interactive units as well. And so, it's not guaranteed to turn up, but I think this should be kind of a good signal to the game that we're trying to draft the 5 attack matters deck. Okay, and then just a bunch of stuff we don't want right out the gates. Here, I'm going to go with the Legion Drummer Runeweaver. Again, if we can assemble some challengers between the Glory Seekers, Rhinefang Wolves, things like that, the Legion Drummer will be quite good. And then the Runeweaver is just a premier unit in the game. I don't want to have Shatters or Thorned Blades in our deck if we don't have to. And so I'm going to start with these, and hopefully we don't mess up our packs for the rest of the way. Hopefully. So, all right, out of these, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the pack mentality here. You don't always need ways to just like close out the games because Ashe is so good at it. But if we stack up a bunch of Yetis, they do have problems winning the game on their own. Your opponent tends to just like block your Yetis with Hapless Aristocrats forever. So pack mentality helps close all that out. And then Icy Yeti is extremely good at flipping Ashe. And so he has some synergies as well. And then I'm hoping that helps us pick up these archetypes we're looking to see. All right, not too strong here. With this, I'm going to go with the Brutal Hunter Whirling Death. Really kick up our interactivity. I am afraid now that this is going to have Augmented Assault be what shows up for our synergies, right? The reputation is still here, but none of the Ashe archetypes is here, which is a little scary. This is the second Augmented Assault pack we'll be drafting, but hopefully we can just pick and choose and work with what we're given and not worry about that. But here, Brittle Steel Alpha Bioclaw gets us right back on track. We are passing on a Runeweaver, but we need like some of this Frostbite stuff to ensure that our Ashe is good. Still Augmented Assault, but Frozen Solid turned up now. And I think I'm going to go with the Frozen Solid pack. I do want to make sure we get one of these Rime Tusk Shamans. Succumb to the Cold is utter garbage. I really don't like this card, but we've like already got a Brutal Hunter. I don't want like the 5th Thorn Blade is offered up to us, and so I'm just going to go in on the Rime Tusk Shaman here. All right, and out of these, this is the first Yeti that's shown up, but I'm going to go with the Noxcria Arena. The Mimic is quite bad, but this is like the big combo out of the Blood on the Ice archetype, right? Say you have a Rime Tusk Shaman on the board, it weakens your opponent's strongest unit, and then that strongest unit is now the weakest one, has to fight in the arena. It's a very strong combo if you're able to get it going. Second Succumb to the Cold, fine. There's no like 5 attack matters themes here outside of the Thorn of the Rose, and so I think I'm just going to go with the Icevale Archer. Although the Ruined Reckoner is kind of interesting, right? If we say Midnight Raid and Ashe, and then she gets to do the Frostbite twice, I'm kind of interested in that. I don't want these Succumb to the Colds. It's such a bad card. I think we could pull it off. We only have one 4-drop to this point that isn't Ashe. Let's give it a shot. I like the idea here. Okay, the double Trifarian Assessor is nice, but the Yetis definitely haven't shown up, so this will be a Bloody Business pack for us. On to the next one. With this, I'll take the Shatter. We need to find some of these Icevale Archers, and this one is fairly strong. We're not missing out on much here between the Thorned Blade and the Trifarian Hopeful pack. So that looks good to me. Here, I'm going to give up on these Reforges and just pick up another Brittle Steel. I want to ensure that we have at least 2 copies of this. Okay, and so there is another Legion Drummer here. We already have like 1 Troll Chant. I'm not super interested in Flash Freeze, but the downside is we only have the 1 Challenger, right? The Legion Drummer works fantastically with the Challengers, but where are we at in terms of spells? We have 10 at this point. Yeah, taking a double spell pack at this point is kind of bothersome, and so I'm going to pick up the Legion Drummer. On to the next one. Looking good here with the 2 Flash Freezes. And our trade. Pick up a Trifarian Glory Seeker. That works for me. Get our second challenger here. Okay, so you know what time it is. We do have to go turn something premium. This is, I don't know why I'm even looking at the commons. There's not gonna, I just like already know that there's not gonna be any that we don't have. But let's look. Noxus and Freylord. All right, we didn't hit any. About the rares. So far, nothing. We didn't draft Caught in the Cold. Didn't see any Rhymefang Wolves. Flash Freeze is on theme. I was hoping to find Averosian Outriders. They just totally did not show up today. A little sad. Ooh, we got the Rhyme Tusk Shaman, though. That's who we're going to do. I prefer to boost up the units if we can, right? If you burst, like, if you get a Flash Freeze, your opponent doesn't even get to enjoy it, right? It just immediately disappears off the screen. But if you take a unit, your opponent gets to enjoy it as well. And so that's our gift to our opponents, right? Everyone doesn't know about the pay-to-win lifestyle, but they do know when they see that card on board that the shininess makes them feel better on the inside and such. So you're welcome, opponent. Okay, an old Pantheon. The biggest fan of the Frostbite's Pantheon. There's a lot of strategies that are pretty good at acing a Pantheon. He has a lot of problems with these flash freezes and Frostbites and stuff. So hopefully we can take advantage of him. I'm actually more worried about him playing like a faded unit on the first turn and us not being able to like brittle steel it when we need to. Right, if this was a starting to turn into like a 3-3 on the second turn, be a little bit of a problem. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pass it. We're not winning any of these combats. And we're like running out of stuff to do. We haven't drawn any more units besides the Starlit Seer. How much of these spells do we want to spew off? We have to like play something. Don't really want to be playing like both Whirling Death and Brittle Steel this turn. Okay, well, let's at least take down the one unit. This does open up our Starlit Seer to get hit by like Death Rays and stuff, but it's kind of whatever. Alright, let's see if we can find a unit. Nope. Fuck. Let's see if they just pass it back. The attacks here are definitely not any good, but you can see. Alright. I feel like that was fairly positive. Fuck. And if we don't lose our Starlit Seer, we can get the arena on the board. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards here, but
Fly away while you can.
let's see what he does. I feel like we're going to get hit with a combat trick or something, but we have to spend some of this mana. Sure, just a protective one is fine. And that also lets us drop the arena and still fight the soldier without just like completely losing out on this turn. I think it's okay. See if opponent agrees. There's no like combat tricks to worry about. I mean, I guess he could play Blessing of Tarek or something and give it +3/+3, but not real sure what he's kind of dream he's holding on to here. And then this should be like fairly safe. I don't want to have to like shatter one of these units, but we're going to, I think. That's not super safe though. Let's just accept it, and then we can add Alpha Wildclaw next turn. It's looking, ready to attack if we need to. and then we can shatter something now. See how much mana they spend. Attacking is probably too dangerous. Your strongest ally and the weakest enemy. We can still just pass. I'm definitely interested in hitting Saga Seeker with the Alpha Wildclaw. Now he plays Jinx. Okay. Not so bad. Then he's going to open on us. We have the bloody business to do something in combat. It's a little unfortunate we're a little short of playing both Bloody Business and Sigil of Malice, but I think we're fairly safe here. Let's just stop here. Keep this Flash Freeze mana back if we need it. Now we're in a space to where we can still pass, and the Alpha Wildclaw will kill his Saga Seeker. And then if he plays another big unit or something, we can Ice Veil Archer it. We can just pop Yulia here if we want. It's kind of tempting to just not do that. The Saga Seeker is definitely the unit we'd prefer to kill here. Let's just pass. Okay, now we have to do it. Oh, we could have hit the Saga Seeker. Shit. It that doesn't do anything. But the Ice Veil Archer doesn't target, right? So you can Frostbite through that spell shield. All right. Troll Chant doing what it does. Excellent. So now the thing, I think we're going to have to mimic the Flash Freeze. Just to, like, that's going to be like our, most useful thing here. Well, I mean, we'll see if opponent plays a unit, but... Oh no, it makes a fleeting copy. Fuck, we shouldn't have done that. We should have waited till they played something. I thought this just put a copy in our hand. I'm not used to playing cards that terrible. But I think we're still looking okay here. We can answer him. We need to do this now, though. Right, otherwise we can't land the Flash Freeze on it. Alright, so this would be a lot cooler if we had another Flash Freeze in our hand. But... it's gonna trick it. A Hush? Fuck. Alright, I guess having Flash Freeze would have been pretty useful there. Okay. Alrighty, well, on to the next one. Do we want any of these? I don't really feel like any of these are upgrades. I want to hang on to the Arena over the Strength in Numbers. We have the 2 Legion Drummers. I still think this Ruined Reckoners has a lot of potential to be strong. So I think I want to keep that 1 copy. Move forward. Yeah, I don't like. I read the Mimic earlier and was like, "Oh, I'll put the fleeting copy in my hand," and then I just kind of like let it go. And then as soon as I did it and saw it like turn green, I was like, "Oh fuck, that's definitely not. That's definitely not good." And so we should have been able to get out of that one. We even nailed the play there right at the end to make sure we played the Sigil of Malice at the right time. And ugh. Sorry. We'll still win this game, and we won't let the Tilt Dragon get a hold of us. Snapjaw Swarm. just like the worst card ever made. Let's start with the Seer. I'm intending on taking the Glory Seeker hook onto the Snapjaw Swarm. It's like, maybe we should have led with the Legion Drummer, but I don't want to have to like trade the Drummer for this Crusty Codger, where we can still get a good combat with Starlit Seer. Right. He can combat trick out of this, but that's still a pretty juicy 2-for-1 for us. No play. Looks good. So he can hook the Starlit Seer, but none of his units can kill it, right? He can add a bigger, what are these called, lurker? Now we can't add anything that can kill the Seer. Who do we want to start with? Okay. I think we're going to open attack next turn. So he hits a lurk, but he doesn't use it. Okay. We still have this flash freeze if we really want to protect a Starlit Seer, but I don't think we're going to need to. Alright, I think we're starting to crush now. It's tempting to want to play pack mentality here. I think I like it. Right, because we're not going to use it on our opponent's next turn. And then on our next attack, we're just going to play Icy Yeti. I think this is going to be strong. Pikes it. Sure. Much worse now. Was not expecting a fast speed removal to come in like that. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sure, dude. Still think we're fine, but that was a odd sequence to expect to come through. So he's going to pike hook the Starlit Seer, but we can flash freeze and then follow up with Shatter if we want. Or if he doesn't open, we have the Icefell Archer. So weird. This dude just does not like to use the vulnerables. Nice.
Victory requires a sharp blade.
Okay, so Time Bomb will kill the Rune Weaver. Not adding the Iceville Archer with that thing on board. And then we can still drop a Yeti. That's fine. Have to have like some kind of big boy on top of our deck, right? Feels like we've only hit like the single +1/+1, but we've played like 5 spells. Apparently that's not the case, but it's what it feels like. Excellent. We're not that close to dying. Let's just go ahead and take this one. Like, I'm not quite ready to give up on the Starlit Seer when we still have these, like, 3 spells in hand. Only +1/+1. These mathematics just don't seem right to me. Let's just pass. We'll probably get a Shatter next turn. We should be able to, like, Iceville Archer something and Shatter, and then we should be able to Iceville Archer something and hook it with the Glory Seeker. Snapjaw Swarm again. Sure. I think it probably shouldn't even be dealing with Zillion. It's kind of late now. I mean, we can still Icevale Archer one of these other units and shatter it, then just hook Zillion, but no, this still works out okay. Hang on. So let's do this. Let's like Archer the Hatchling. Then I'm going to shatter the Hatchling, and then we're going to have Legion Drummer on board. So we can quick attack challenge the 4-2 and then whatever happens with Zillions, whatever happens. I don't even need to shatter at this point, right? Just wait and see what happens. Like he has a good block with Zillion on 3-1, but should be killing his other stuff. Should we have just gone for it that turn? What if we had like shattered Zillion and then we had the fragment in hand? We probably should have just won that turn. I don't think we're ever going to lose this game, but that doesn't make up for anything we should have. He played that stupid Lost Treasures card, so he can be dropping ridiculous treasures on us. Play Treasure Chest and play 5 spells on us. Okay. Oh, he didn't do anything, so I think we're okay from this point. All right. Give him a shot. All right, so we're just going to continue to take the Ashes here. Not excited about the Shatter, but I am pretty happy with the Rhymefang Wolf. Works great with both our Flash Freezes, and it works with our Legion Drummers. Excellent little addition. So yeah, the Reputation deck makes me always think of Taylor Swift whenever we draft this. Love Taylor. She's one of the finest musical acts of all time. America's sweetheart. Reputation, though, one of the worst albums of all time. Hurts to say. Taylor, if you're out there watching it, it does hurt me on the insides to say Reputation is a terrible album. But, you know, sometimes the work you do isn't always the best work. I'm sure it's someone out there's favorite album. It's just not mine. But I do feel bad. I haven't been keeping up. She went and re-recorded all of her material. That was a real shit show that she had to go through, and finally getting through it and getting her new materials out there. Well, the re-recordings of her old stuff. Some dipshit that was clearly not a fan of her doings, and I had poor interactions with her in the past. Went and bought out all of her old music catalog, and then just doesn't let her have access to it or anything. Fairly shit tier play, but if you're rich, you can do rich people things. And, but all the re-recordings that she's done, I haven't paid too much attention to them, and so a little unfortunate. Got here, bring in an Aftershock. We got to play some of these spells, right? So let's go ahead and boost LeBlanc to counterspell the Aftershock. She's still vulnerable, right? She dies to things like Death Ray now, but she at least doesn't die here. We can chunk in an attack and got a nice 4 mana for 2 mana trade and still get the damages in and stuff. Pretty cool. LeBlanc has that reputation for listening to Taylor Swift as well. It's in her lore. Let's go check the bio. www.wowlore.wiki.bio/LeBlanc. You can pick it up there. Similar to the Creed Thoughts URL. It's just a Word document. What's this guy doing? Just playing a bunch of cards? Okay. I'm gonna wait. Like, I don't want to play this like 4 mana Sigil of Malice, and then if he does attack, we can like Brittle Steel and stuff in here. So that was a awful greedy attack coming through. It's tempting to actually just go ahead and play the Succumb to the Cold. Like, this can go up the curve, right? If he plays a 4/4, we can hit it with Succumb to the Cold, but I think we can just go ahead and do it now. If the game ever goes late, then, you know, we might actually get to activate the Frozen Thrall. And then with his board state now, we can still just, like, Brittle Steel wherever we need to. I think this is good. We're not playing the Starlitz here. We're playing Rhyme Test Shaman this turn. We start to take over from here. Sure. I guess there are cards that he can hit. Like the last Flash of Brilliance was kind of dumb, but this Flash of Brilliance you could technically play cards off of. Alright. Well, you did your work, girl. Good job.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world. Ice runs in our veins.
Looking good. Building up a lot of stuffs here. Maybe we'll get a Brothers Bond to take down on Victor here. We'll have to see. I don't want to get like super invested in this Victor, but we might go for it. I think there's definitely a world where he doesn't attack, so we'll just go ahead and add in Glory Seeker. See, don't do this. This is the ones I'm talking about, where
An auspicious season.
the Flash of Brilliance just doesn't actually do anything. You can save that and use it later.
The frost reveals all to me.
Oh, cool.
Faster than my
So Ashe right now will flip in combat. We should be lethal if she just gets to attack in. You can even get through like a double unit card. He does not. Well, I guess he could drop like Troop of Elnix on us and get 3 or 4 units on the board. But if he just plays a single card here, we should just crush through in combat. Icequake. Okay. Oh, that gives neg attacks. Oh, ain't she's not going to frostbite anything either. Okay. Clever, clever.
ice runs in our veins.
And we're definitely getting built up to this Frozen Thrall. if we don't win on our next attack, we'll have it 2 attacks from now. Kind of feel like we'll probably just win on our next attack, but it's there.
You know what my future is? Glorious!
I'm going to go ahead and Brittle Steel something. I want to make sure we draw Crystal Arrow next turn.
I'll lead us to victory.
May not need it, but we should go ahead and ensure that we draw it. We don't have anything to do with our mana, so it's probably a pretty reasonable cast.
Send chills up my spine.
This doesn't even do anything.
There is no shelter.
Still happy we drew it now.
Don't mind if I do.
Is he gonna block with his 1/1? Nope. Could have came in and killed our Ripe Test Shaman. God, this is like. Does this even count down? feels like this was supposed to be ready next turn. It's gonna take a fucking year to get this thing going. Ooh, feel the rush. Damn. Okay. Oh my god, we're so dead. Oh my god. The Nivea aces our team. I mean, we can pack mentality and get through that piece of it, but... fuck me. We can still technically win with Ashe next turn.
Mind if I do?
Oh, wow, he's playing meaningless Hex Core upgrades. That's kind of nice. But can we... Yes, Challenger now, so we have to play the Crystal Arrow. I'm going to say, can we survive this turn and then get the Crystal Arrow next turn so we could potentially take down the Anivia or whatever, but...
For my homeland.
Okay, we at least don't die to this. Now, I think we want to go ahead and start with the Brutal Hunter. Like, the quick attack is just never going to matter. So we can get rid of that.
Up my spine.
Victor's been hit. Now, if we brittle steel, say this guy, attack with all our friends. Look, this guy. Ashe will hit the Anivia, and then he shouldn't be able to block. Oof, nice. I don't think we deserved that one.
The war is over.
Nice.
Now we rebuild.
Okay, so we getting any upgrades here? Yeah, let's trade out Mimic. I don't want this. I don't want this stupid thing. If we're gonna come out here and just misplay it all the time. But Bloody Business is fine, right? We need some kind of way to interact with our opponent's stuff. We have reasonable enough units that can hit with it, between Ashe having 5 attack, LeBlanc standardly, some of the bigger Yeti kind of things, and then maybe the Starlit Seers can upgrade something into being 5 attack as well. But we got a decent number of targets for it. This is LeBlanc, Soraka, and Tarek, all in Targon. Gonna be bringing all the heals on us. Okay. Not a bad curve, but we're on the even attacks. This is a hand where we really want to be drawing a Brittle Steel. Give us that. We don't have good interactivity when we come down on turn 4. It's like we have to play the Seer on 2, LeBlanc on 3, and then just open on 4. We would have the Ruined Reckoner, though. I guess he's reasonable on 4. It's just the Rhymefang Wolf that's awkward. Next turn, me gang. Dropping it.
Fear beyond. These eyes see all.
All right. We do have the Starlit Seer Ruined Reckoner combo, right? He generates the free spell, so we get the free spell for our Starlit Seer +1/+1s. The big plays. I thought him up. There is a world where he doesn't attack here. It's so common for these decks to have Brittle Steel. You might want to keep this back on defense. Never blocking if he attacks, but I can see why opponent would take pause and not attacking with their Spring Guardian. Or even like opening with a Targon Shield, just to ensure that it can't get Brittle Steeled. It's about to be nap time out here. But alright, let's get the Reckoner down. I'm fine with trading the Reckoner for the Spring Guardian, and there's not a ton of units that he can play that interact with this positively. Like, if he has LeBlanc, then good job, guy, you did it, but he only has 1 copy of LeBlanc in his deck. Otherwise, it should be pretty tough for him to at least stop us from attacking with LeBlanc. And it's pretty tempting to just drop the free attack on her first. Right? We're probably never going to play the free attack on the 4/3. So just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Something new. Hope. Every fighter falls.
Eh.
I cannot turn back.
Gonna have the Targon Shield on the Spring Guardian. Nope. Cool. He took away our combo though. we don't get the +1/+1 anymore. That's all I really wanted in the world. My day has essentially been ruined. Thanks, dude. Thanks, Wolf Van. Ruining my day. Alright, so slightly awkward in terms of mana. But I guess it works out kind of okay with the Succumb to the Cold. If this turn we're just playing a well, that kind of messes things up. Can just pop it with Bloody Business, I guess, and then see if he attacks. Him gaining the 5 isn't like the biggest deal in the world, but I'd prefer him not do it. There's the Targon Shield finally. Okay, this does flip our LeBlanc as well. It's not completely empty. But no, I was trying to like piece together this turn to where like next turn we could like if we played the Trifarian we'd be 3 banked, and then next turn we could add the Rhinefang Wolf, the Icefell Archer, and play Succumb to the Cold. But it doesn't look like it's going to come down to that. He did elect not to heal. Sure. So this does look like a pretty decent open now. I like it. If he just wants to put his 5-1 in front of our 3-1 and get bombed for 1 million, I think that's pretty good. Sure. Interactivity isn't Targon's real strong point. I think this is going to be a pretty good shutdown. Like he's not. They just don't have the cards. Like they don't have removal spells. There is at least a handful of combat tricks now coming out of the Pantheon archetype, but nothing about Targon scares me in this combat. He's just never taking down LeBlanc. Now we can add in the Rhinefang Wolf so that we can like Frostbite block next turn. Ooh, a Star Spring. Look out. So the new question, I think we do want to add the Reckless Trifarian now. Because my idea here is next turn I'm just going to play Icy Yeti, and then we'll just open with everybody. I don't think we're ever going to play Succumb to the Cold, even with the Rhinefang Wolf on board. And I don't want to add Noxcry Arena. We don't have the mana to Arena and Succumb to the Cold. So this is like if he plays a small unit, we just get to blow it up with Icy Yeti so we can't attack and get a huge open next turn. That all seems fine. Oh, goodness. Need a little bit more caffeine. A little bit of a nap. Eclipse Dragon. God, I missed you so much, my dude. Missed you so much. So how do we feel about this now? Let's at least wait and see what he does. If he does hit with the Eclipse Dragon, we can Succumb to the Cold, block it with the Rhinefang Wolf. And then we should be lethal for next turn. The flight will go away. Enjoy. Does LeBlanc make mimics? Mirror image. What's this stupid thing do? Summon copies of allies. Okay. I don't think it's going to matter. She needs to deal 1. Okay, whatever. We'll just send it in. Someone smarter than me could figure out the mathematics on the proper attack ordering here. I just don't think it matters. Then I think we're going to do it. Did he disconnect on us? Did we make him rage quit? Nope. Oh man, Destiny's Call. Alright. You cast it. Give him a cupcake for that. Alright, on to the 3rd champion. Let's pick up an extra copy of Ashe. He's just too strong to pass up. Doesn't really matter what's in her stack. We got Harsh Winds and Dead Mother. Sure, Dead Mother, it's good. I don't feel like we've really hit like the big density of flash freezes that make this thing spectacular, but I mean, if it's hitting like a 4-4 or a 5-5, that's still just like tons and tons of stats. So It's always okay. This is our first harsh winds as well. Cool. All right, on to the next one. Oh. So yeah, I know y'all are wondering where should I start with the Taylor Swift discography, just to get my head right with it. 1989, that's where you want to start, and then if you like country music, you can work your way backwards, and if you like more poppy music, then you work your way forward. Easy peasy. You have been taught a great lesson. You now know how life works. But here, not a bad start, right? We're not like this super aggressive deck out here. So if we don't play anything in the first 2 turns, it's not that upsetting. And so I see a hand like this, and it's like, well, we can bank the first 2 turns, then do LeBlanc into Ashe, so we have a good curve. And then opponents playing Pantheon, and so they're never aggressive, right? They're going to play Gift Givers, but if they, spend a mana on a gem next turn and then spend a mana on a gem the next turn, it's just not a big opener as they're spending their mana on Pantheon level ups instead of spending it on actual units. Okay. Zillion is not the not the master of aggression. Mentor of the Stones is fairly awkward, though. It is a pretty good one. Oh, I'm blocking. I'm ready. Oh, if he no attacks, that's just so good for us. Like, it feels like you have to be hitting with the Mentor just to start getting on board. What? What are you doing? What are you doing? I guess he's worried about like losing Zillion to LeBlanc or something. I don't know, dude. I don't know what you're worried about. But LeBlanc should be pretty safe. There's no ways to just deal pings out of Targon plus Shurima.
I think not.
So, pretty good. We'll level up LeBlanc here. It's very tough for him to have something to positively interact through this flash freeze. Like, he can play a combat trick or something, but it's not that big of a deal. Drop a ton of gems on this thing, that's fine. Protomancer. So now we know that we're good with the flash freeze, right? He could technically put his 3-attack unit in front of Ashe and then have another combat trick, but he just advertised that he doesn't have it, which is awfully generous of him.
This is not the way.
Boom him.
I whisper truth into lies.
That was our second flash freeze for Ashe 2, right? So I don't think we can get to lethal for next turn. We can add 5 plus 3, which will be 8. And then, oh, that's really, what is this, 8 plus 11? That would only be 19. But if we hit a +2 attack on Runeweaver, then we might be able to open kill. And it also, that's kind of greedy. It all comes down to whether or not they would be able to play 2 units this turn. They can probably play a second unit this turn. So I think I want to get the Seer, I want to get the Drummer. It's unfortunate. But not the end of the world. Let's just pass. I'm really surprised he put the hook onto LeBlanc instead of Ashe. Like, we're just losing stats with LeBlanc. Ashe is the one that's actually going to kill him here. Okay. Start with Runeweaver, just to see what we hit. Quick attack, kind of cool. Why isn't he playing cards? What would that be? That would be a Spirit Fire. Sure.
Remember why we fight. Vermin.
So no point in going for the flip. There's the Spirit Fire. Doesn't kill too much. I mean, we get to keep our Ashe and our Trifarian. Wonder if he blocks with Zillion, and then we, like, he's not like a prime target for a Shatter in terms of just stats, like, or in terms of his abilities, but he's a. It would be nice to take those stats off the board. And Den Mother. Okay.
They told me to keep this one, but I like you.
Let's wait and see. If we get challenged, I don't want to miss out on our succumb to the cold here. I'd say he's like most certainly going to attack.
Look at it sparkle.
+1/+1, okay.
Look at that quality.
Why wouldn't he attack with Zillion? That's so weird. Alright. Well, I'm not quite ready for Ashe to die to Pale Cascade. So let's add in the Den Mother. Yes, we have Frostbites, but I think this is fine. Turn ends. Icefell Archer is kind of nice here. Let's see how much of this we can play. The Crystal Arrow goes to the top of our deck, so we're not going to get to play it here, but we should be able to shut down large portions of his blockers here, and then add the Pack Mentality. So whatever he does have left to block with shouldn't be that good. I think it even makes it like not worrisome in terms of like running into Siphoning Strike. Like if he Siphoning Strikes our Ashe, that tends to suck, but with the Pack Mentality, I think it's probably okay. What? If your opponent has more units than you, do stuff. Okay. Still on board with the Pack Mentality. Could have added this up, I guess. It'd be like, where are we at? 14, 20, 25 into his 6, 7, 8 health.
Leaping into action.
His highest attacker is a 3, so let's put the quick attack on our Icevale Archer. So right, may not win the game this turn, but we get to ace his whole board. The only thing we should have to worry about would be Pantheon, and he's not going to be flipped. So I think we're going to be okay here. Sure.
You spurn my gift.
Got him to 1. Pale Cascade saving the day. Pretty strong board.
Oh, but let me have a look here.
Just gonna go ahead and start freezing stuff. We can cycle away the Crystal Arrow. I don't think he's gonna be able to get wide enough to matter. We get 2 Frostbites next turn on the open. 3, I guess, because we have Ashe. You know what? Sure. Boomed him with the shatter. That's all you need. That's all you need.
War is
Nice. So what can we pick up here? Glory Seeker is interesting. We are pretty spell heavy at this point. And so I do like that we have Troll Chance. It's the kind of like the only 2-for-1 we can get in our deck, but like none of these spells we have are unit generating, and so we're a little bit high here. And we've been having a lot of these draws to where we just have like one unit in the early game. We're just playing spells for the sake of not overbanking, and so I'm on board with another unit. He's still pretty. The Glory Seekers are still fantastic in the early game. We have the 2 Legion Drummers and then the 2 Brittle Steels to go with them. It's especially juicy if you get that attack to where you get the quick attack challenge in, but they think that they're going to at least take down your Legion Drummer. And then you Brittle Steel their block on the Legion Drummer, and you just super snowball the board from that point forward. But we're a little light on all the cards to make that sweet combo happen. The combos are the sweetest, in case you didn't know. So much Pantheon today, Jesus. It's like everybody's playing Pantheon, but nobody's actually played him. Alright, nice curve. I doubt we'll be doing like the Brittle Steel Glory Seeker here, but it's nice to have. Would we rather just lead off with the Rune Weaver? Since we're just going to be attacking with everything. It's tough to get hooks on these Saga Seekers, right? We'll see what his curve is. If he plays like Gift Giver plus a gem here, then we have to worry about him playing like Yulia the following turn and then not being able to Brittle Steel. But I think this is okay. Is a little worrisome in terms of he has like the combat trick. So we may not actually make this attack. I want to see if he just banks. Let's just get rid of it. Fine. Okay. I like where we're at. No blocks. Can't do it. The Glory Seeker wishes he could.
I think not.
Oh, I thought that was gonna eat Callista. Okay. Mask Mother does no Callista eating today. Alright, now that we've picked up the Rhyme Tusk Shaman, we'll just open. Not a particularly intimidating combat from him here. He can block Ashe. But he would need to follow up with like a Brittle Steel or something to come in and take her down. Not bad. That wasn't on my radar. I don't think I've ever seen the +1/+2 card onto Callista plus Mask Mother. It was wild. Sure. So that leaves us in a pretty good space. And then I'm not going to play the Rune Weaver. I would rather just bank the mana here so that we could potentially get something going 2 turns from now. Now we can add the Shaman and Flash Freeze or something if we want. Which I'm pretty sure we want. So this attack just seems awful always. He hushes his Callista. Okay. We can keep... Do we even want to bother to keep playing this game? We can just let this combat happen and replay Ashe. Okay. Did quick attack. Cool.
All the world on one arrow.
So we're a little bit short of lethal. Let's just start with this Rhyme Tusk Shaman, and we can stop 2 of his units this turn. So if he plays like a 6-drop, I was gonna say if he plays a 6-drop, then we can just win the game. But Callista's a bit awkward in those terms. Who do we want to force into block though? Right. The idea is we can shatter one unit. Ashe will hit the strongest.
Swiftly now.
I guess it's going to be the dragon, right? Yeah. I don't want it to be the dragon. I wanted the dragon to be the forced block here. All right. Well, let's at least make him block with Callista. And I think that's okay. We can hit with these. He gets to trade with the Rhyme Tusk Shaman now, which is kind of awkward. Like, maybe we should have kept the Shaman back so that it would... oh, no, we can't. We're going to lethal. Okay. I got to stop and do the finger math before we attack. He has to... This is a lethal, right? 11 plus 3 is 14. He has to block at least the 5 attack. There it is. There's the shift. Nice. So we should just be taking this one over now, right? The Shaman's going to freeze the Screeching Dragon, so we don't really care about it. We can add an Arena next turn. I think it's all good. He can do like weird stuff that, like if he plays Chronicler of Ruin or something, that would be naughty, if you will. But I think this should be fine. I don't know. I don't get why he's just passing though. That's very strange to me. I mean, even if you just have like a handful of spells, you'll play a Grasp of the Undying onto the Runeweaver just to churn through some of your mana. Battle Bonds. Okay. We can take a 6-hit from the Rekindler. That's not a big deal. Alright, so not the most ideal onto the dragon. We don't get to kill the dragon with Ashe, but he also doesn't get the free hook onto Runeweaver this way. And now we're good to just open and shut down his whole team again. Right, we'll get the one Frostbite with the Shaman, the one with Ashe. This should be enough. Got him. I gotta practice those finger mathematics. I haven't. I don't know. So you can learn that from somebody smarter than me. But what are we doing here? I still kind of like the Ruined Reckoner. I like the idea of having these attacks with Ashe, where we've played the free card. Where Thorn of the Rose is good. It is a little bit cheaper. Well, it's got 5 attack and things. But I don't want to succumb to the cold. The Tactician's a little expensive. Okay. Yeah, you can go to www.youtube.com, type how to add into the search bar. I need to do it. I need to stop and take a break and learn to do those basic maths. It's tough. It's tough. Who wants to do that, though? You really just want to put all your units in the middle. Say, enjoy my attack. Enjoy it, friend. Okay, Ziggs Talia. It's been a while since I've seen Ziggs. So I'm just going to hang on to one Glory Seeker. We need some combos with it before it'll actually do anything. And so it's a little greedy. We're just going to be trading it away if we hang on to both. And so we can hang on to the one. We can trade it for a Ziggs if we need to, or we did just pick up Runeweaver. Maybe we'll spike a quick attack with that or something. Or then the idea was if we don't hit anything cutesy for the Glory Seeker, then we can still hit the Sarlit Seer. Oh man, I can't. Ooh, my bad. I kept trying to I kept trying to push the mute button on the microphone thing and I couldn't get it to go. I didn't want to just cough right in your face. Alright, but we're back in action. This is okay. Our unit's bigger than his. If he wants to play a combat trick to get a trade, that's fine. And then we have Ashe ready now for our turn 4 attack. Ooh, rock bears. Everybody knows how I feel about rock bears. I should go ahead and start talking trash about them, and and then we'll find a way to lose to this.
I write the rules of power.
We hit overwhelm. Not the one we wanted, but we're still strong.
I will unite the Freljord.
So let's see what happens. Ideally, the Ashe will hit the Endless Devout. Are we good to just trade her away? Probably not. This would be a good place for a troll chant. Okay. All right, now we're dealing with the grumpy rock bears. Ooh, that Ashe draw was good though. Plays Assault Spire. It's our world where he just doesn't attack us. Maybe.
I need just a moment.
Definitely want this down if you know attacks.
Let's not ruffle our feathers.
Okay. Then we'll make him wait a turn on this the sarcophagus thing. They tend to have a lot of that that combat trick that where you sacrifice something and then give the +4/+2, and they tend to have a lot of that. It gets good if they get to do it that way. Ooh, harsh winds. Can't quite play everything that I want to play though. I think it's just fine. How big are these? Ooh, the 1/1 Dinfang Mother. Look out. Look out. So the idea here, if we hit with Ashe, the Waste Walker will be the target, and then we can hook the Endless Devout. But of course, he's going to just play another unit here. Oh wow! Oh, that picks up a Rock Bear. Okay. All right. Well, here's our attack. You really wanted that sarcophagus. Full board, sure. But they aren't like super good at interacting. I think this is going to be a pretty good harsh winds. So let's see what happens here. The boosted LeBlanc. All right. So those are the easy ones. Put Ashe in front of another 5 attacker. Take this trade down here to the left. Ooh, almost picked the wrong one. Harsh winds on the Rock Bear in the 7/7. So we're looking to take 7. He's not winning any of these combats except against the Starlit Seer. And then if he's playing tricks down here to the right, it should just be survival. It shouldn't be kills.
Time to make an appearance.
Ziggs is ready. Okay, so let's see how this turn shapes up. Like we didn't make any of the blocks to where his units shrink so that we can try and kill them with or get them frozen with Icy Yeti. But it's okay. So we fall to 5. Ashe will currently hit the 5/4, right? Yeah.
I keep step with the heartbeat of Nox.
Curious why I put the bouncing bomb damage onto Ashe. Is he gonna have a second bouncing bomb here? Yep. Oh, it's just coming through Ziggs. Okay.
Remember why we fight.
My move.
So he only has like one good block this way, right? He can put his Ziggs onto a 4/5, or he can put it onto a 4/4, right? So Ziggs can come in and either block the Legion Drummer or the Wolf, and then that's unfortunate. So I think, you know, he'll put Ziggs in front of the Wolf, put the 5/4 in front of the 5/5, and his other blocks here are terrible. He probably puts the 1/8, currently 1/8 in front of the Wild Claw, and then that leaves him just taking 10. It's fine. If we can chunk some, like weaken some of his dudes down, we can hopefully get this Icy Yeti plate happening next turn. And then just frostbite everything before he's able to attack us back. We're in a slightly dangerous position here. Right, so he's going to have the 1 health Ziggs, and he's going to have the 1 health Waste Walker, which will be like a 9/1 or something if he doesn't open. So this is an important one to hit. Oof. Sometimes you draw like a boss as well. Dropping emotes. It's time. It's time for the emotes. Are we gonna get boomed by Ziggs? Will Ziggs take us to 1?
So obvious.
Interesting. Surprised he's attacking with Ziggs. Then can we kill with an open? It's kind of dangerous. Alright. Let's see what he's got for us. We may have emoted a little too early. Alright, but I was looking to mimic the 7-2 and chunk in that way.
It was inevitable.
That's right, LeBlanc, it was inevitable. Our victory was pretty much guaranteed. Did you see all those premiums we put on the board? Holy fuck. Alright, what are we doing here? Let's pick up more Glory Seekers, that's fine. Always glad to have those. Don't want more Icy Yetis, want to hang on to our arena. Let's get rid of Brothers Bond as well. Let's pick up another unit. The Harsh Winds is much more powerful than the Sigil of Malice. I think we'll definitely want to make this trade. Not much difference between the Reckoner and the Tusk Raider. Then the Legion Drummer is much better than the Trifarians. Definite upgrade here for Flash Freeze over Succumb to the Cold. What about these? I don't think we want any of this. Don't want more Sigils. Want to keep the Rune Weaver because it's cheap. Yeah, we'll skip over that. And the last one, Kato the Arm for Pack Mentality. That's close. Like, Kato's so strong. But, like, Pack Mentality has been extremely good in, like, every game we've played it. We've had some of these boards to where, you know, just doesn't... it has the 4 Demacia roll where you just kill all your opponent's units. I had some boards where it just won the game. But Kato's much meatier. I think I just want to hang on. Wow, that's really close. I think I'm just going to hang on to the Kato. We're not quite playing to the just like, hey, I have... Like, a lot of the Sejuani Noxus decks will just be, like, really heavy in the overwhelms at the top end. And so it's like, you can get these big attacks to where you have, you know, Wild Claw, Tusk Raider, Kato the Arm, and then, like, the 5/4 camp block guy. And we don't quite have those plays assembled here. But he is also kind of strong with the Glory Seekers, right? If you just hook a you know, a 3/3, and then you get to chunk in for the 5 damage. It's pretty strong. All right, don't switch to Kato. Also fixes our unit count a little bit. That's close. Close. The one copy of Pack Mentality is extremely powerful. I don't know. I don't know if the last time you played a Magic draft format with Overrun in it, but historically cards like Overrun were just completely bonkers. Just like the one copy though, you could. It's a little bit easier in Magic to get the board stalls going to where Overrun is just a big game ender, but it's still strong. It's like in this game, every single unit has flash. It's wild. How would you feel if every single unit in Magic had flash? You'd be playing Runeterra. All right. Not the spiciest of starts, but it should be okay-ish against the Shyvana deck here. I guess this can work out okay. Just like I don't want to play this Icevale Archer on 2. I feel like we're just kind of stuck dropping Trifarian Glory Seeker, because I also don't want to just like bank all this mana. Could be a decent bank now that we hit another Shatter. There's no like, what 2-drops are we gonna shatter? Let's wait and see. If he plays like a 1/3, First Keeper. Okay. I was gonna say if he plays like a kind of irrelevant unit, then I'll pause and just play the Glory Seeker. But if he drops like a 3/2 Challenger or something, then I'll be okay adding the Icevale Archer plus Shatter.
Nothing escapes my notice. Stay back.
So we'll get the trade here. I'm going to go ahead and shatter this dragon. Let's get it off the board. And then we'll switch over to LeBlanc next turn. Should be fairly tough for them to answer her. Right, he wants to be playing Shyvana next turn. Shyvana's not that strong in the face of LeBlanc.
Make an appearance.
Play Shyvana, I guess we'll just hook her.
What a treat.
It's not horrible if he takes the block here. There's a lot of self-sacrifice cards coming out of the Shadow Isles half of these decks, so taking that unit off the board can be quite relevant. Right? If he wants to add a Spirit Leech and draw the cards or something, it's gone now. We're starting to snowball a little bit. Incoming Challenger Dragon. Highly suspect when their only play on turn 4 is a Phantom Prankster. Ooh, wow, a Vengeance. That's actually pretty nice. Let me add the unit first that can take down the Prankster. Let's be real, he's never attacking with Phantom Prankster, but in the event that he did, I wanted to have the kill ready.
Let's make this a
Yeah,
night
we have to start attacking with the Glory Seekers this turn. But, I mean, I guess he's good chance that he's just like saving back his bigger units because he knows we have this 5-power Challenger on the board. Can we ever lethal this turn? I mean, we technically have 20 with the Glory Seeker, but he can block with the Prankster.
Sharpen the blades, secure the kill.
Okay. This isn't a guaranteed takedown, but if this is successful with the Rhymefang Wolf, this game's pretty much done.
By snow and stars.
Opponent's dropping the emotes like he agrees with what's about to happen.
You're mine.
You can get out of it. Sharp Sight, Radiant Strike. Alright, we might have gotten there. It's most certainly a overwhelming board that we have.
Fire and fury burn in me. End them.
I mean, I'm just going to take the damage, but it's like I'm curious, like what we could get out of like Noxcria Arena here, if it's ever safe to just drop it with Shyvana on the board. Shouldn't need to, right? We can just hook her with a Glory Seeker and then blast in with everything else. I guess one of the worrisome cards would be Judgment, but we just drew out a Judgment.
I'll cut them apart. Face me.
Alright, that should do it. Cupcake it. Nice. Nice little piece of aggression coming out of the reputation deck here. So good. Nice little 7-win battle. Victory is ours. Taylor Swift is pleased. She says that is one of the best wins I've ever seen, Bust. Thank you so much. And so let's get this pulled up. We can talk about it a little more. Yeah, this didn't come together like the kind of traditional Blood on the Ice decks do. I thought that with how we started out, we might have been able to get there. But this like Legion Drummer Runeweaver pack probably pushed us away. That pack is one of those like classic picks in Expedition where I'm just not sure if it's correct. It like objectively, it's much better. I don't remember the exact picks, but it was like like an Icy Yeti and a Shatter, or it was like, yeah, something like that. It was like Icy Yeti and Shatter, and then like maybe a Bloody Business and a +5 attack thing, and then Legion Drummer Runeweaver. However it fell, it was like a Blood on the Ice card, and then garbage, and then it was a Reputation card and garbage, and then it was Legion Drummer Runeweaver coming out of Augmented Experiments or something, out of one of the Riven packs. And objectively, the Runeweaver Legion Drummer is just leagues better than those other choices. I don't want to be playing Thorned Blade in any deck I ever have. I don't really want to be playing Shatter or what's it called, the 4-cost Flash Freeze unless I absolutely have to. And so we were, picking the 2 stronger cards out of the pack. But as we were rolling through the synergy picks, like at pick 5 and pick 7, it didn't have both of the archetypes we were looking for. I don't think we saw Blood on the Ice at any point throughout the draft. I think there was like a synergy pack that didn't have Frozen Solid in it, and we really like hamstrung our packs in the future by taking this Legion Drummer Runeweaver right at the beginning. And so I'm still not like sure how I feel about that as to whether or not we should have really like tried to force in the synergies and make the packs we want show up. Or if we just take the objectively stronger packs. And I think it's okay here. Like it's easy enough to get like the density of Flash Freezes you want. It's easy enough to get the challenger units that we were really looking for. It was just that concept of piecing together everything with the Yetis that we weren't quite able to do. And so it was odd. And then we did get this arena down here at pick 8, and I thought that might do something to make Blood on the Ice show up, and it didn't. So at the end of the day, the deck here still turned out nicely, and I think we still touched on the big issue and problems that you have with these base Ashe decks, and that you have to have some kind of good interactivity, right? Your units are all reasonably statted. You have good early game. You have good late game as far as units are concerned. But the Flash Freezes and the Frostbites, whatever we're calling them, don't actually kill your opponent's units, right? If your opponent plays Lux, you can't actually do anything about it. Or if they play Neverglade Collector, you can't do anything about it. And so you have to either be picking up a bunch of challengers, or you need another faction that can add in some of that interactivity. Here we got some of the we got the Whirling Death, and we had a couple of whatever LeBlanc punch is. We got some Bloody Businesses, but however you want to go about that, that's going to be the big thing that you're looking for. And so that's why I don't like playing, say, like Ashe plus P and Z, right? You might pick up an Aftershock and a Gotcha, but you're not really doing a ton to complement the weaknesses of this Ashe archetype. And so I think we at least covered that pretty well here. We picked up this giant pile of challengers in the Trifarian Glory Seekers. We got some actual removal in the Whirling Death and the Bloody Business. And then we picked up the Nox Crya Arena for that kind of recurring board control kind of thing. And so I thought we got ourselves a pretty interesting deck together here, even though the kind of the core concept we were looking for never made itself apparent to us. So yeah, not a bad little trial. Hope everyone out there enjoyed it. Let's run back out to the front here. The Might be a reward or two to click on. Look at that. We got the post run reward. I think I think last week, you get the 3 expeditions a week. I think I ran straight through to trial number 6 before I found a worthy pairing to make videos from, and it really just aced all of the rewards that would have had the potential to show. So didn't really get those out there for anybody. But that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the trial. Upped your reputation a little bit amongst your friends. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.